A pleasant day to each and everyone. My name is Miss Marivic A. Gallanosa, an English teacher from Rosario National High School from SDO Cavite, and I'm proud to present to you my research entitled Designing and Implementing Video Lessons, an Innovative Learning and Teaching Strategies in Distance Learning Modality. The purpose of the study is to make use of video lessons or instructions for the students who are doing self-learning in distance learning to make the delivery of lessons or instructions much easier for the students, specifically in mastering the most essential learning competencies in English 8. Now let us talk about the distance learning in the Philippine context. So according to the study of Marshall, Benson, and Conrad, according to them, online learning is a form of distance learning or education that gives opportunity to everyone. However, according to them, there are distractions or barriers like internet access, technical skills of teachers and students, as well as the administrative or instructor issues, learners' motivation, academic skills, time and support for studies. These are the problems that are considered that may hinder the education of the students, even though online learning is available for everyone. So these are the reason, or these are the considerations when we make video lessons in online learning education. Convenience sampling was observed in the selection of the participants regardless of their demographic profile. 27 grade 8 students under the modular blended learning took part in this study. The research instrument used in this study is survey questionnaire adapted from the Spring 2004 virtual workshop on designing using video in geoscience education, which was validated by an expert in accordance to research questions, objectives, and content. Of course, this research was conducted via video lessons that were uploaded in YouTube. The researchers sought permission of the school head and consent form from the parents or guardians. Also, these participants were provided an invitation letter for their approval. These selected participants were given an assurance that the data would be confidential. This study is a quantitative descriptive research design to describe the students' perception on self-learning using video lessons or instructions provided by the teachers through the survey questionnaire. Now let us talk about the findings. The first research question is, what are the common difficulties faced by the teachers and students? As you can see in the graph, in the data rather, the result shows that the common difficulties faced by teachers and students in distance learning as presented in the development, it shows that the support from parents, relatives, and teachers in the students' studies is the minor common difficulties faced by the teachers and students in distance learning. It also shows that the weighted mean 3.04 is calculated and a standard deviation of 1.02 is verbally interpreted as strongly agree. However, internet connection is the most contributing factor that affects the teachers and students in the distance learning, having a weighted mean of 2.56 and standard deviation of 1.05, which is verbally interpreted as agree. This implies that each factor contributes to determining the uncertainty affecting both teachers and students, but overall, the elements gathered a weighted mean of 2.85 and a standard deviation of 1 is verbally interpreted as agree. So let's talk about the second research question. What is the student's perception on self-learning using video lesson or instructions provided by the teachers? So according to this data as presented, the result shows that the student's perception of the self-learning using video lesson or instructions provided by the teacher. As shown in the development, it presents that learning the competencies is the highest contributing factor to students' perception of self-learning using video lesson or instruction provided by the teachers. It also shows that the weighted mean of 3.07 is calculated and a standard deviation of 1.14 is verbally interpreted as strongly agree. However, the application of the video lesson is the lowest contributing factor on students' perception of self-learning using the video lesson or instruction provided by the teachers. Having weighted mean of 3 and standard deviation of 1.11 is verbally interpreted as strongly agree. This implies that the factor that contributes to the determining the student's perception of self-learning using video lesson or instruction provided by the teachers, but overall, the elements gathered weighted mean of 3.04 and a standard deviation of 1.11, which is verbally interpreted as strongly agree. Alright, so let us talk about the third research question. These are the findings. What is the appropriate and innovative design for video lesson for the students in the Modular Distance Learning Delivery? The result shows, as you can see in the table, the result shows the appropriate and innovative design for the video lesson for students in the MDL. As presented in the table, it shows that the learning from instructional videos fits well with the personality and preferred learning style, as weighted has the highest contributor in the mean. Having weighted mean of 3.15 is calculated in the standard deviation of 0.86, which is verbally interpreted as strongly agree. However, it shows that they were satisfied with the design of the instructional video is the lowest contributor, having a weighted mean of 2.70 and standard deviation of 1.07, which is verbally interpreted as agree. This implies that the appropriate and innovative design for video lesson for students in the MDL gathered a weighted mean of 2.93 and a standard deviation of 1.98, which is verbally interpreted as agree. Now, what are the implications of these findings? The first one is the internet connection is the common problem. Alright, number 2, the lecture is the most important for the students in their studies. According to the result, students can spend 10 minutes in watching instructional videos, and then videos help them, or video lesson helps them to remember and practice the learning competencies they need to master. Alright, so the last one is students were satisfied with the video lesson. And for conclusion, instructional videos are essential in the new normal setting of education, because when presenting students with new knowledge, concepts, and abilities, teachers strive to demonstrate rather than explain. So this is also according to the study of Albert, and it has been found out in this study as well. Okay, next is video lessons or instructional videos have great impact on demonstrating the skills to be learned. Obtaining background information on subject is the main purpose of the video. Reading, painting, listening to the teacher's verbal explanations, and seeing visual media are all effective ways for students to absorb knowledge. With the help of expanding web-based platforms and technology, distance education provides individuals with educational settings that are independent of time and geography. So this is also anchored to the study of Bilgic in June 2015, and it has been found out in this study as well. Now, what are the recommendations for this study? According to the study, video lesson must help the students understand the lesson or learning competencies, or the MELCs, as well as answering their learning tasks. Next one is video lesson must be appealing to their eyes, and they must be appropriate with their personality. And last one, teachers must be the one to discuss or give lectures or instructions using the video.